Kyoto, year 1000 AD. The capital of Japan has another name, Heian-kyo, the capital of peace and tranquility. It has been the capital for 200 years and will remain so for another 800. In a country of 5 million people, 5,000 of them live here at the center of everything. The rest of Japan exists largely to support what happens inside these walls. This is the Heian court, a civilization so refined it developed an entire philosophy around the sadness of beautiful things, a world where your choice of sleeve color was a moral statement, where a badly written poem could end a career. This is a reconstruction of what it felt like to be inside it. You are a lady-in-waiting at the imperial court. You are not the empress. You are not powerful, but you are here, which means you are among the 5,000 people for whom Japan exists. You are sitting behind a screen. You have been sitting behind screens for most of your life. This is not a metaphor. It is an architectural fact. Women of your rank do not move freely through the palace. They receive, they observe, they write. You are very good at writing. That is why you are here. The first thing anyone notices about you is not your face. It is the edge of your sleeve. You are wearing 12 layers of silk today. Each layer a different color, each combination dictated by the season. Deep crimson fading to pale gold, the colors of maple leaves in early autumn. Getting this wrong is not a fashion mistake. It is an indication of character. A woman whose colors do not match the season is a woman who is not paying attention. At this court, not paying attention is the closest thing to a sin. Before you dressed this morning, you held your robes over a censer. The smoke that drifts through silk leaves a scent that lingers for hours. Every noble woman at court has her own blend. Agarwood, clove, camphor, plum blossom, proportions adjusted for the season, for the occasion, for the impression she wishes to make. Your blend is known at court without your name being spoken. When a poem arrives scented with it, the recipient knows before they read a word who sent it. A poem arrived this morning, slipped under the edge of your screen before dawn, on pale green paper the color of spring moss, though it is autumn. The color is a message in itself, a reference to a poem both of you know by heart. You read it 3 times. The handwriting tells you as much as the words. Rushed strokes mean one thing, careful ones mean another. These were careful. You will spend the better part of the morning deciding how to reply. The paper you choose, the ink, the angle of the brushwork, the poem itself, whether to echo his imagery or answer it with something unexpected, whether to reply quickly, which signals eagerness, or slowly, which signals composure. This is courtship at the Heian court. 2 people who may never see each other's faces fallen in love through paper and scent, and the exact choice of a sleeve color at the edge of a screen. In the late afternoon, you are permitted the garden. The shinden, the main hall, opens onto it through wide sliding screens. A stream has been engineered to flow through the grounds at a specific angle to catch the light at dusk. Someone planned this. Someone decided that the reflection of the setting sun on that water at that hour was worth engineering. They were right. You sit at the edge of the hall, your robes pooled around you, watching the light move across the water. This is not idle time. You are composing. In this world, the ability to be moved by a garden, genuinely moved, not performed, is considered evidence of moral worth. The word for it is mono no aware. The pathos of things. The bittersweet knowledge that the light on the water is beautiful precisely because it will not last. The most admired people at this court are the ones who feel this most acutely. The ones who can hold beauty and the knowledge of its ending at the same time and turn that feeling into 31 syllables. Tonight there will be a moon viewing. Aristocrats in layered robes will gather at the garden's edge. Cups of sake will be floated across the water. Each person must compose a poem before the cup reaches the other side. Gagaku musicians will play from behind a screen. One flute, its single note hanging in the air, longer than seems possible. Every note in Gagaku means something. The autumn notes are sorrowful. Tonight's will be sorrowful. That is appropriate. The moon is at its fullest. The fullest things are always closest to ending. You have already begun composing your poem for tonight. You started it this morning, in the margin of your reply. A word, then another, the way you have always worked. Outside the capital, most of Japan is dark. Farmers in the provinces live and die without setting foot in Kyoto. They grow the rice that feeds this court. They pay the taxes that fund these gardens. They have no idea what happens behind these walls. In here, someone is writing a novel, the world's first novel, though no one knows that yet. A woman named Murasaki Shikibu, lady-in-waiting to the empress, is setting down in kana script the story of a prince and his loves in such precise psychological detail that people will still be reading it 1,000 years from now. She writes in the margins of her duties, at night, in the spaces between ceremonies, in the same candlelight you are writing in now, behind the same kind of screen, composing the same careful words, for someone who will judge her not just by what she says, but by how the ink sits on the page. The Heian court lasted nearly 400 years. It ended the way most beautiful things end, not in a single moment, but gradually and then faster than anyone expected. Military clans in the provinces had been accumulating power for generations. The aristocracy, absorbed in poetry and moon viewing and the precise angle of a sleeve, had let the business of governing slip quietly out of their hands. By 1185, a general named Minamoto no Yoritomo had established a military government in a city far from Kyoto. The imperial court remained, the emperor remained, but the world that had produced the 12-layered robe and the moon viewing poem and the woman writing by candlelight, that world was over. The lady-in-waiting folded her screen and went home, wherever home was. Her poems may have survived. Her name probably did not. Most of the women who shaped this civilization left behind only what they wrote. Some left behind not even that. Only a style, an influence, a way of holding beauty that passed from hand to hand like a poem slipped under a screen in the early hours before dawn.